Hey, what's up? How are you? Welcome to Space Couch. Oh gosh, it's just, you float out here in the vastness of emptiness and just cosmic loneliness and there's Space Dog, but Space Dog's not really one for talking. And so it's nice when I get to be able to talk to you and adjust my mic so that it's actually uh, by my mouth. Okay, we got so much going on today on the couch. I could not be more excited. Um, so so oh um let's do let's do this. Oh, I screwed up the title on one thing. That's okay. We'll fix it. Space answers. Space problems require space answers. Anyway, uh, the answer to your prayers is today's sponsor, who, of course, is Tiger Squawk Records. Just been on fire with Tiger Squawk lately. Fazaz City from science fiction. That's amazing. Grasp Logic's Lost soundtracks. You cannot go wrong. Isserly is back with her, I think, the best one, Tape Wormhole. Preamplifier from Cedar Hill Furniture. It's a megaton. 808 from Grasp Logic. He's been on the move lately. Volt 9000 joins Tiger Squawk Records with Viral. Club Ovator is back with Impostorable. And the best of, one of the best sirens is now available. Batavia! Oh gosh, this is so good. You'll love that. That is all that's going on Tiger Squawk Records. What is up to oh double guests of the show? Dre and Syrinx are in chat rooms. Uh, and it's great when guests come back to hang out. Speaking of guests coming back, uh, it's not only a reunion here on Couch, but a reunion on several levels. Let's just get right into it because I mean I want to know. I want to know all about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the evergreen, illustrious, nonstop, implacable Angelspit, Carl. What's up? Hell yes.
Hello from 106 degrees in LA.
Oh, really? Okay, awesome, man. Because it's negative a million below out here in
In
space.
space.
What's up to is trolling. What's up, Angel Spit? Um, oh, we have the provost of Providence himself. Uh, Deanna, DJ D42. Everyone's coming out for the big
Oh,
Angel Spit
Rihanna, rock
episode.
and roll. Love your
Rock
hips,
and
baby.
yeah. Um, we could start anywhere, but let's start here because I'm excited. The the Ignorance I screwed it up already. Ignorance Cartel Kickstarter ends tomorrow. Album is
Yes.
almost out. Oh goodness gracious! Give me the 411 on Ignorance Cartel. What are your feelings on this release at this point in time?
I feel very good about this release at this point in time. The mastering guy, David, who has mastered every Angel Spit album, actually says it's the best one yet.
Okay. Oh
He
wow.
said it's pretty brutal. Yeah. And I'm really happy with it. It's 14 tracks. Normally I do 12 or 13, but this one I went, fuck it, I'm doing 14 tracks.
14, man. That's pretty.
And it's rather political, and it's heavier. It's a little heavier than recent albums.
Hmm.
And I'm really happy, and it sounds dark and deadly, and it will loosen floorboards, and it's very fucking cyberpunk.
Awesome. Because I
I
mean,
promise.
what's up to Chelsea and Dan? Um, that's cool. I mean, and forgive me for going inside baseball off the bat, but like, I know you were going for that heavier sound, like all the way back from Cult of Fake. It
Yeah,
sounds like you might have finally gotten there. Don't let me put words in your mouth, but like, is this sort of a culmination of honing that heaviness, that like, because there's always the Angel Spit grit, but like, what do
yeah.
you mean?
The heavy. It's really weird that you when I set out to do an album, it's like I'm going to try and do this thing. I am going to attempt to. There are going to be 14 arrows, and I'm going to dip them in this kind of poison, and I'm going to set them on fire. But as it goes on, you might go, well, you know what? I want them to be steel arrows, or things will change. Like in Bang Operative, I set out for it to be heavy, but it turned into this kind of like early 80s, late 70s synthwave thing. I'm starting to call Bang Operative the breakfast album because
Okay.
you can listen to it in the morning and it won't give you a headache. Because like everyone has a breakfast album.
Oh,
Think
that's
of this.
total 100%. Pardon the
Like
pun.
Bowie is low, and that's what you
Yeah.
listen to in the
Right.
morning. So Bang Operative is my breakfast album. This one is not a breakfast album. It's an after 10 p.m. kind of album.
Okay.
And it's
Put the
really
kids to
nice to be
bed.
yeah, put the kids to bed or play it and the kids know you're angry. Or play it and the neighbors know you're angry kind of album. And I'm really happy with it. Like the lyrics are I try to make the lyrics very obvious and very in your face. Like
Hmm.
this is what I am talking about here, as opposed to beat poetry and stuff. And the synths are very, really brutal, and the guitars are up in the mix.
Uh,
I just did a lot of work to kind of like simplify it so the evil could come through, but all the while there's these tentacles of Cthulhu, of evil, ancient evil, bubbling in the background.
we are all
If that
about
makes
that here
any
in space.
sense.
It makes
Yeah.
no sense, and it makes all the sense in the world because we're all about that space madness. Let's
And the
take
Kickstarter ends tomorrow.
and the Kickstarter ends tomorrow.
Ends tomorrow.
You have, dear audience, one of your Earth days to get in on the Kickstarter. Here's a little bit of how it sounds. This is "Eat the Children."
The most important thing you have is your attention. The wolves play big so they can steal it, staring into the hypnotic eye for hours. It sucks out your energy, distracts you with dumb shit. Fuck you, Fox. Fuck you, Disney. Send it to glossy landfill that makes you decay. Slip into the void for just $10 a month. Submission is just one click away. It's the oldest trick in the book, and we're still falling for it. Poison the mother, seduce the woodsman, lure them into the forest. They eat the children. The most important thing you have is your attention. The wolf.
I accidentally set that to loop. Forgot about that.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So there's
Sounds
a
really
funny
good.
story behind that, if I
Okay.
can.
Yeah, we got all day.
If you remember when we wrote Let's Ride,
Yeah.
you and me went for Hardcore Pong. We went to the New Wave Cafe in Chicago.
Woo.
We were talking dumb shit, and as we were crossing the road, I got a beat in my head that went da da ga ga ga
Mhm.
da da ga 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 that I was hitting the crossing light with.
Yeah.
And then by the time we got back to my apartment, you and me had written the song
Yeah.
in
Oh,
like in 2 minutes that the song had come because we were already talking about the concept of the lyrics
we were
over
talking about
coffee.
it. Just
Now,
let me put a pin in that just because you cut out for a second.
all right.
We were talking dumb shit at the New Wave in Logan Square in Chicago. That was our jam. By the time we got back to your place, it was pretty well molded.
Yeah, and that was like 2 minutes.
Pretty
It
quick.
took 2 minutes to yeah. and like literally from the cafe to my place was 2 minutes. And it was funny that I was telling my wife about that. We were going for a walk, and I came up to an intersection
Hmm.
with the button. Back in the days when you were allowed to push buttons, 'cause you can't anymore, but
In the before
um,
time.
yeah, and it's really funny that I had this thought about how a common thing with witchery, Hansel and Gretel, is about a witch who comes
Hmm.
in, poisons the mother,
Hmm.
and seduces the husband, and then eats the kids, and then throws and then it just happened like that.
Oh, nice.
The whole song, by the time I had crossed the road, was there.
So you're all about crossing lights and crosswalks, and this is
Yeah.
it's a
And we should read into that because there is something greatly cosmic about it, and it is a cosmic thing.
what's that?
Crossing the road,
Okay,
and lights and shit like that. Like I'm crossing the road.
interesting. Speaking of cosmic presences, want to say what's up to Planet Damage in the chat room.
Damage, welcome.
What is up, man? Um, you may see somebody named that, specifically him, on a future episode of Couch. But now we're talking about the Ignorance Cartel. I gotta, and this is the dumbest question, but I gotta ask it because I'm curious. Why the name Ignorance Cartel?
The Ignorance Cartel is from a lyric in the last song, "All Puppet No Master,"
Hmm.
and it's so the album is part 2 in what I'm calling the Hex trilogy.
Mm.
And the Hex trilogy is exploring the idea that you have an organized system of thought, belief, religion. And I'm not taking anything away from Christianity here.
Hmm.
But during the Pilgrim times, what they loved to do was to hunt down and destroy people who were interested in the idea that the world is bigger than what has been indoctrinated into us. And there are healing possibilities and galactic and universal possibilities outside of what we have been taught, because we haven't discovered that yet. Science is an ongoing wonderful thing that's rewriting itself and correcting itself all the time. Other doctrine are not. So an ongoing story in this, like, theme in these albums is
Okay.
basically Puritans versus witches, where
Oh, wow.
witches are the open-minded ones who are seeking earth wisdom and looking
Uh-huh.
to the stars and looking to science, where the pilgrims are not, still
Interesting.
are not.
Wow. It speaks to
And
me, and not just because I'm in Massachusetts, where a lot of
Right.
that shit went down.
ironic. And that's like the whole thing behind the song "Eat the Children," is that it's a song where, once again, the blame has been put onto the witches. And
Okay.
it's funny how we have been programmed through nursery rhymes and everything else
Right.
that witches and alternative thought and exploring the unknown is bad.
That's awesome. I
yeah,
got
and
the I got the chills a little bit. Can't
Yeah.
lie.
So
That's
the idea behind the Ignorance Cartel is that a cartel is a mob or a group or a militia
right.
who will guard their thing
Yeah.
with bullets and knives and spears and harsh words and wrap you up and burn you and drown you in the river.
Oh, that's
And what they are doing is actively not just seeking ignorance, but also holding on to this ignorance. Like, abortion is bad.
Right.
Gay people can't get married.
right.
And what's going on now, which has been going on for hundreds of years. And from this, we are still, there's so many issues that are going on because people go, no, I believe this, and that's it. And no matter what evidence or no matter what other people choose to believe, this is it. And I am going to stop these people from expressing their love,
Right.
exploring their science,
And like the
whatever.
eponymous cartel, if you disagree, we take you out. Silver the
Exactly.
lead.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was really cool, man.
So the cover is a painting by N Tez, who is from Canada. She's actually from Malaysia, but N is now living in Canada. N is an amazing artist.
Hmm.
And I spoke to N, and we, came up with this idea. And I'm wearing a dunce cap.
Hmm.
And on the dunce cap is the Eye of Providence, which is the Eye of God, eye in the pyramid,
Hmm.
but it's got Wi-Fi coming out of it. And the concept is that there is so much disinformation now that it has become increasingly difficult to seek the truth and to seek what actually happened, and therefore to form your opinion, because there are so many conspiracies. There are so many,
man.
like it's we are living in a fascinating time of disinformation,
Right.
and it is being fed intravenously to us. Uh, it's a crazy time, man.
Oh God. I mean, well, not only does it cost billions of dollars to stream the signal from out here in space to
Yeah.
you in LA, so I know all about signal to noise. The idea of the signal to noise coming from a pyramid and what that implies for like the religious implications you were talking about before. Oh, it all hangs together. Want to say what's up to Julius and uh, M78 Eddie says Mayhem Freezing Moon is my wake up song, and is trolling.
Julius, we missed you yesterday at the Patreon chat.
Well, we're gonna get into all that. Is trolling just brought something up? You have put together uh, an amazing, let's say, confluence of Patreon and Kickstarter and the campaign slash community behind Ignorance Cartel, the Kickstarter that ends tomorrow, uh,
Yeah.
is and it's amazing. Like let's start on the Kickstarter end. You're offering masks, very apropos, a
Yeah, well,
shirt,
that's from Poor Star.
Pawn
And
Star.
this is actually really fun because I've got the crew back on board. Like,
Oh
I'm
God,
working
you got
with
the
you,
band
I'm
back
working with Poor
together.
Star, I'm working with the Liar from
Oh
Basement
my
Labs.
God, that's so yeah. Paw
Yeah,
Star,
doing the masks.
they did well. That's awesome because you and Paw Star together put together the cover of I Feel Sickle, the Gothicals album. They did the shirts and the clothes and stuff, and you put together that awesome like undersea maniacal like
Yeah, yeah.
manacle in 10 minutes.
On the
Uh,
day.
on the just like you went full Carl, where I'm like you are
Yeah, but you
incredible.
were full Brian as well.
Yeah,
Like you and
well,
me, when we get at it, it's
quick
pretty awesome.
quick story for the listener. So I'm in makeup for a while, getting turned into a shirtless fish person. Carl makes this like undersea.
And she's spraying you.
She's
She's
spraying
spraying
me
you. It's
down. It's
airbrushed, man.
I'm going full fish. I got the giant gills. This was before I had fins tattooed on me, and we order up an Uber, and in my mind I'm like, I'm gonna freak her out. She's gonna be so weirded out because like I'm not wearing a shirt, and like I look like a fish. She could not have cared less. The Uber driver was so much more interested. And you're from Australia, and
But
just
wasn't it like it was really cold?
it was
Wasn't this in January?
it was warm enough. It wasn't like
Yeah, but
106
that's
LA.
from someone from Chicago. It was like 40 degrees. It was close to 30 degrees, man.
It was a little nipply, pardon the pun, but
Yeah.
she just did not give a shit that I was just like a fish
But
person.
yeah, my recollection is I grabbed all the chain I could, and then I grabbed all the little
Right.
bits and pieces because I figured if you had a chess piece, it was made from all the stuff that you'd found at the bottom of the ocean.
Absolutely,
And
and
then I asked you to bring all your stuff, and I went, "Oh man, I'm using this
was-
shit. I am not using my stuff at all."
it was like
That was awesome.
it was I mean awesome, like truly, and not like awesome, like rad, like I was in awe. That is all an aside to Paw Star is back doing the masks on your Kickstarter. The dopest shirt yet, possibly. It's the
Yeah,
the painting
thanks,
you
Ed.
just described.
And
Uh,
thank you, Michael Yell, for helping me make it into a T-shirt. But go ahead.
and it doesn't stop there, because not only are you offering a VHS tape of all
Yeah.
things, getting like retro future. Uh, if we hit $9,000 on this thing, you shave your head.
I'm shaving it live.
You're shaving
if
your
it
head
hits it,
live.
I'll do it live. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down for it because me and the wife were talking about it and joking about it, and then I thought, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. So if it hits 9 grand by tomorrow tomorrow noon, LA time, which
Mhm.
when it finishes, I'm going to stream shaving my head at that very moment.
Oh man. Okay, so that's Ignorance Cartel on Kickstarter. You know how to use the internet. You're watching the show, so go check that
Yeah.
out.
Uh,
Go on.
can I just pick up also back on the VHS tape?
We can do whatever we want, man.
All right. So the VHS is being done with the liar who used to be in
Yeah,
Angelspit. Technically, he still is because he never quit
ran
and I
into him
never
every
fired him.
before we could had to stay home. I ran into him in Boston.
What? Oh yeah, he said that. He said he
Yeah,
saw you at a party.
yeah. And I was like, "Hi," and he's like, "Brian." I'm like, "I know, I live in Boston
Ah,
now," and that's the whole
yeah.
story. So yes, this is
Um,
the erstwhile once again video guy for Angelspit doing this VHS tape.
and it's really cool because he's got he works with a label, runs a label called the Basement Labs, and I actually got a VHS from them in the mail today, plus 2 cameras, like tape video cameras from the 90s, and he said fill them up with craziness. Because what we're doing is we're doing videos for every single song. And the brief is we wanted to make them horrifying and creepy. But the funny thing about people who do horror is they have a sense of humor.
Often,
And the
yeah,
more we work together, the funnier everything's becoming.
yeah.
But the version that goes on the VHS will be exclusive to the VHS, and everything else is getting. We're going to censor it and put that on YouTube at a later stage.
um,
So the VHS is going to have at least an hour's worth of material on it. But like somebody said, man, why the hell are you doing this? And it's like, well, look, when I was a kid, I was brought up in this shitty country town that only had AM radio.
right.
And the record shop, I had to bug them for 6 months to get an album by Severed Heads in there.
Oh,
And it was,
was a bad mood guy.
yes, it was
Yeah,
actually. Well, oh, you're very smart.
that's my favorite
Great
one. I
album.
just assumed it was bad mood guy. Like anyway,
Fucking great album.
yes, dude.
And anyway, very good use of InSonic and DX7 and his old samplers. Great album. Anyway, um, so and the only way you could find stuff was by getting a VHS or getting it mail order shipped to you. So the whole point about like the first time I saw A Clockwork Orange, which was banned in Australia until
Was it
like
really?
2000, yeah, till like the mid 90s, was on a copy of a copy of a copy of a VHS.
Right,
And you could hardly see it, but it was fantastic.
right.
Same with Apocalypse Now. I think it was banned as well. And so what we've done is we've got this video, and it's the only way you will get to see this content is by
That's
watching it on
cool.
VHS.
Now I get. Oh God. Now
And
I get it.
and like one of my mates said, well, I don't have a VHS, man. How am I supposed to watch it? And I went, go onto the sidewalk because there are VHSs on the sidewalk all the time, or get one off eBay or something, or I don't know.
That's such a
But
good idea.
but that's the point, is that we've got to get back to a point where you have to actively seek out this stuff. Like I've been looking for cool websites
Mhm.
that like they've got that really cool like David Carson look of the 90s, like
Yeah.
before Facebook came in and
Frames
just
and like
owned everything.
the
Yeah.
horizontal line is a lightsaber or some bullshit.
Yeah, and also Alan's what was his name? Adam's buttons.
Oh
The guy
God,
with the
yes.
animated buttons.
Yeah, little animated buttons.
But finding a website that's like really cool, and it's not like, oh, PHP only lets me do this,
Right.
and WordPress boring. But I can't find any.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure they're out there, but if you Google search really cool websites, it's like a whole bunch of dumb shit.
Mm.
So possibly maybe something that I'm wanting to explore as well is doing a website that's just like cool if it was the 90s, this would be cool.
Oh man.
Because everything
Nice.
cool now is boring.
Work in some MIDI. Yeah, I wanna inject my own shit into not literally because that's gross, but like the VHS thing. I'm so excited about that idea because like yeah, the there's something intrinsically subversive, almost
Yeah,
like uh, a little dirty, a little
yeah, yeah. You
like
get pull the VHS out from under the counter and it's in a brown paper bag.
right, just that medium, especially like. I mean, for me, it was. I mean, I'm originally from Milwaukee, so like Gen Con was in my backyard, and you would have, like you said, in a pre-YouTube world, the only way you were going to find like Masters of the Universe or Thundercats or something was this 12th generation VHS copy, and it looked grainy, but that somehow added to the
Yeah.
I'm seeing some shit I'm not supposed to see, and oh God, I'm so sorry,
Okay, so
I'm in love with that
no,
idea.
this is excellent because like you should talk to the liar
All right.
about what he's doing with Basement Labs because they do compilations for labels.
Mhm.
And the other crazy thing is that he's got a video rig where it's basically distortion pedals that have been retweaked. Then instead of screwing up audio, they're screwing up video.
Nice.
So and there's a whole bunch of modular synths now that fuck up
Mhm.
video.
Oh yeah.
He was doing this way back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's a thing, man. It's a thing.
Is Trolling says hardcore Pong and MP3s that only work through Winamp. I still use Winamp.
Damn right.
um, so in this online cybernetic stay-at-home world, the other sort of part of the experience of Angelspit lately has been this Zoom and Patreon community. Um,
Yes.
I've been to a few of that sort of thing. A lot of this is involved sort of with the release of Ignorance Cartel. How are you finding this sort of online networking experience?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, and what I've so what happens is every Saturday at 12 noon LA time, there's a Zoom,
Hmm.
and it's a gathering. And if you're an artist or you just want to sit in on it, we sit down and talk about. Originally, it was a Q&A, and I would show people stuff and teach people how to do this stuff. But it's become therapy.
Mm.
And it's become therapy of artists who feel isolated and they're in a rut or they just don't know how to put everything together that's going on right now. And it's I'm finding it really excellent because as you know, I can talk for hours about stuff and I can come up with solutions for a lot of stuff. But increasingly, as more people are getting involved, more people are then jumping in and go, hey, yeah, that's cool, but you should try this too.
That's
And
awesome.
here's another thing. So and it's great because it's not just musicians. There are authors, fashion designers, musicians, obviously painters, graphic designers, coders, people who are getting together to
Drag queens.
because drag queens.
Yeah.
More drag queens. Big shout out to May May Graves, who probably isn't awake yet. So, but when there's because the writer's block and curing, getting over that writer's block, it's kind of the same no matter what your discipline is.
Interesting.
And it's this actually idea started with Brian Fitzpatrick, who's writing the Metcraft series, and him and I used to meet up in LA for lunch
Nice.
at a cafe.
Back when you could do that.
We'd invite friends and we'd get our phones and throw them in my hat and we'd put the hat over there. So for the next hour and a half, no one can fucking interrupt you. And we would just talk about getting over writer's block and dealing with writer's block. And okay, well, as a musician, this is how I do it. And then he'd talk about, like, authors have this thing called the vomit draft, where they just go,
Yeah.
and they just write it.
Right.
And I, as a musician, I don't do that. But since talking with Brian and Brian Fitzpatrick and some of the other authors, it's like, shit, let's fucking do this. And then Mike the Liar was saying, well, as a videographer, as a video person, when you shoot something, you're going to shoot an hour's worth of stuff, and you got to get it down to 3 minutes.
Right.
So you're taking the best,
Right.
0.5% or 1/20th. You know what I mean?
I
So it's
very much
really
so.
exciting, and I'll advertise it on my. It is exclusively available on. Thanks, Julius. I saw your question. I'm going to get back to that in a sec. It's really good to be doing this with other artists, and to work with other artists who you respect, and to hear them say, I'm in a rut, and
Mm.
what I do right now sucks, and I hate my voice, and I hate my music, I hate fucking everything I do. And for everyone else to go, yeah, man, that's totally normal.
Mhm.
And if I can just answer Julius's question, so what's happening is when the Kickstarter ends, it will still be available for pre-sale, and it's also going to be on the Basement Labs website as well. And once it's released, that's it. If you find a copy, it will be a rare copy, but and the release date is probably later this year. We don't know yet, but once it's out, done.
Nice.
And I
Nice.
want to do that with T-shirts and CDs and everything now. But the problem with these things is that there's minimum runs. Like, you know, there's becoming a minimum, and you have to print that minimum no matter what. But not with the VHSs, where it's a specific number. And once that's done, so if you want one, you have until the end of the bloody cycle. So they'll probably still be available by November. But watch this space.
Very cool. Yeah, that's kind of how it works, right? I mean, you can't like go back and produce another original copy of Bloodsport from 1987. There's only so many.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're encouraged to copy it. So
Yeah.
anybody has two
Oh,
VHSs,
God.
but don't put it on the internet because that's cheating.
Yeah, I mean, you don't
Yeah,
want to
but
give the
copy
whole
it.
planet 7 days to live.
Yeah,
The
exactly. Because
So-
it's cursed.
Dana says definitely therapy is Trillin says Zug is literally a hero to artists. I would certainly agree. In these Zoom meetings, they've been very artistically egalitarian in that you've had like people participate in online videos and stuff like that. Like I saw
Oh yeah.
like I saw Zachary Vaudo and like our friends in it. And I know you to be a very meticulous constructor, like working on, for hours on like one sort of tweak of a modular synth. Was it difficult to sort of incorporate these random elements from unknown parties into that sort of experience?
Kind of, but this is an exercise for me to let go because I think I am increasingly wanting to find what punk is. And it's funny, on my desktop at this very moment is a photo of Dwayne Goettel from Skinny Puppy. And he's got what looks like an Emax sitting on top of, and then a Mirage, and they're covered in floppy disks and 2 distortion pedals. And his hair's half dreaded, and he's wearing this, ripped up shirt, and it's punk rock. And I forever am searching for this concept of what is punk. So the thing about these videos is that there's like 6 different directors involved, and this is my way of saying, here, take it. You interpret it. You do whatever it is you want, and I always give them total creative freedom. And then getting other people involved in, well, it's like, well, this is the shot I need, but now I'm leaving it up to you to interpret this as you wish.
That is awesome.
It's really exciting, and
Choke
it's
Chain
funny
is here.
that
What's up? Sorry, I got excited.
Yeah, it's what's really cool about it as well is that a VHS is outside of the reach of the algorithm.
Yes!
Because as you know, and as so many musicians and DJs know, if you upload your stuff and there's copyrighted material on it, YouTube will mute it, fucking Twitch will mute it. And if it doesn't fall within a criteria of this rating, it's gone. So I went to the directors and I said, you can do whatever you want, as long as there's no hate speech or a mistreatment of kids. And if it's kind of R-rated, go for it. Because Angelspit's had that issue in the past where, like the Toxic Girl video, where I loved it, but yeah, there was some strife and we had to edit it.
Yeah, but you're off the grid now.
We're off the grid.
That is punk rock
And
as it gets, man.
It's sort of really mind blowing when you think like there's no algorithm to say, oh, copyright infringement flag or any of this bullshit. Like I can put samples in songs if I want. I can do whatever I fucking want.
It is pretty
because
intense.
it's a fucking VHS.
Right.
And it's such a weird thing that I am so used to living under this umbrella of, oh, I'm the internet and these things you can and can't do, which, whatever. But now it's like that doesn't need to exist in different forms of, media,
What a time capsule. Yeah, like
right?
yeah, you have to like, copy it and get it from your friend's cousin or whatever, but there is no oversight. I mean, there's no oversight really here, but Facebook could ostensibly shut me down or something, but like it's like that possibility doesn't even exist with the way you're doing it. Punk rock.
Yeah.
If
Like, and that's the cool thing about vinyl and tape and like cassette tapes.
yeah.
That it's, and increasingly, man, I'm sorry, I just cut you off.
No, we were both car crashing to the same point.
To the same burning train. Like I've got friends at the moment who can't join the Saturday Patreon meetup, and I won't let them because they've said on Saturday and Sunday it's my analog day.
Okay.
And I'm going, that is such a fantastic idea. I'm not going to let you in. So there is no internet connectivity, no using of a computer, and like specifically one of them, Connor from like Chicago.
Yeah.
He's just working on his synthesizers. No computer.
There, but
no
for
internet.
The grace of Azathoth go I couldn't do it.
Right. Like, how often are we addicted to picking up our damn phone? Like, dude, I think there comes a time when we've got to step back and go, if we saw ourselves like 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, we'd go, what the fuck, dude? Like,
I actually wasn't listening to anything you
that
just
damn
said. I
screen.
was checking my phone. What was that?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I was talking about a cool new app I found on TikTok.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's pretty intense, man. I love it. Yeah, analog. I mean, Angelspit to me has always been just so analog. Like just from my first, experience seeing you live against this wall of modular synthesis, and to seeing how you do it, in your home. I want to do one more thing on the Ignorance Cartel. If Ignorance Cartel Kickstarter ending tomorrow, if the sort of the essence of it was a Star Wars character, which Star Wars character do you think it would be?
I don't know. I've been thinking about this, and it's either Qui-Gon Jinn,
Huh?
or it's Darth Maul,
Interesting
or it's
choice.
Ahsoka Tano.
Or it's
it's
what?
Ahsoka Tano.
Oh wow.
Ahsoka.
Okay.
Ahsoka because, and it's interesting you say that. Ahsoka because you want it.
Right.
Sorry, that was probably really. Maybe it's Darth Maul because you want to be him.
Yeah.
It's really interesting you say that because a part of the songwriting process for me is to come up with a character.
Uh-huh.
And the heart and soul of the character and are the words of the song, but the armor that and the weaponry that character uses is the instrumentation.
Mm.
So if you wrote a song and you said, I want this to be something that a motherfucker from Dathomir is going to go, this is my goddamn song.
Mm.
That's a really, really nice challenge. I don't know what Ahsoka's music would be, but I know I would definitely be listening to Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Everybody, welcome back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's Darth Maul.
Oh man, well you cut the competition in half.
Yeah, right. That's good. That's good.
No, I mean, like, yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn is good because you're battling this empire that indoctrinates children from a young age to turn into stormtroopers or whatever. In Ignorance Cartel, I get it. Pill Brigade is in the house. What's going on? We gotta talk about your live show streak.
Yeah.
You have just been like a champion of these live shows.
Thanks, Brian. So have you, though.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot, and so have you. I mean, it's like 2015 with all the shows we've sort of played together. 2015 part 2. I'm just gonna cut to a live clip, and then we'll get into it a bit. Here is a little of this is Dark Side of the Con 2. That was Angelspit doing classic track Kill Kitty with some gnarly modular improv.
Can you remind me to tell you about the Max Headroom show?
That was we touched on it a bit. Was that the thing where like the guy in the Max Headroom rubber mask?
No. My Max Headroom show.
Okay. Well,
But
let's
let's
do
go
it
back to
now.
what you're talking about.
Well, I was just gonna talk about live show shit, but like let's get
Yeah.
into Max Headroom.
Well, it's okay. So, firstly, and remind me about the Max Headroom show. Oh God, I wish Eric from Spank the Nun was here. He's like my wingman
Okay.
with all this shit. Well, so is Ryan's more like the overarching god Rasputin.
Big ups to Ryan.
We've got to talk about Diana and talk about Ryan
Okay.
because Diana has been she's been there on every show for so many festivals, and she's been keeping the wheels going, and Ryan, she's like the heart of it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been pimping bands and helping bands, and
No, she's great.
she's awesome.
Totally.
And then there's Ryan from Chicago Rasputin, and Ryan has been freely sharing this information that has helped so many bands.
So many. He's run so many festivals.
Yeah, and he is showing and showing bands how to, okay, this is how you stream your shit live.
Mm.
And he's just a legend.
He's great.
And he's saved festivals.
I've seen him save a couple. While we're on that subject, check out his contributions to new offering Baron Von Future out of Chicago. Good stuff. baronvonfuture.bandcamp.com.
Bam.
Yeah.
So what happens? The cool thing about playing live is
Internet live.
It's internet live is all of that stuff was shot here, and I have about 3 foot square on my floor.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Oh, I've been in that room. Yeah, it's much smaller than it looks.
Well, the fisheye lens makes everything look big. That's why I use it.
Heyo.
The modulars on this side, and I got the synths on this side. And when I play live, I'm throwing everything in the mix. I can't do that if I go to a show. I cannot. This modular synth takes me literally a week to put the fucking thing together. I can't do it. I can take a small version of it, but with this, I'm redoing the drums live. I'm redoing the basses live. I'm vocoding it. I'm fucking shit up live, and it's awesome fun. And I also have the opportunity to have different cameras going, to like be overlaying images, to have total control over the lights.
Awesome. And
I can do this live show that I cannot do live, like in a pub, in a bar,
totally,
in a festival.
Right?
Can't do it because it would take days to set this up. And it's really cool because I think there is an exciting future here that, in the future when bars hopefully reopen, it can be, okay, the first band is going to be from, let's say we're playing in Boston, and it's some amazing opening band. Then the second band, we're going to live stream Angelspit in. We're going to project them onto the screen while the Gothsicles are setting up behind Angelspit. When Angelspit finishes, the Gothsicles come on stage
do
live.
that in a second. Quick shout out to Tiger Squawkulons, Industrial, and Beta Virus in the room. I love it. I love it. There was a quote. Somebody once asked, probably Rolf from Kraftwerk, "What do you play?" And he said, "We play the studio." And now you're literally playing a studio.
Yeah.
It's really exciting to see the amount of control you've sort of Pee-wee's Playhoused into that.
What's fantastic about it as well is that the amount of control I'm letting go of. Because, as you know, and you've been hinting towards, I am a fucking control freak.
You're
and
not.
No, I am. Ask my wife. But it's really cool because this whole studio is designed to make mistakes. And, I've got modulars here, and their specific job is to inject random into stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's like the whole thing is set up for a car crash. And that's what I love about Punk Rock Live, and I love about this new media
Hmm.
is that I can do this from my studio, and it doesn't have to sound like the CD. I can get the CD and shatter that motherfucker up and rip it up.
Right.
And that's what's so fantastically exciting. And on the subject of shit that goes terribly wrong, a big shout out and thanks again to Eric, who's always fucking with me. And Spank the Nun's actually, his band Spank the Nun's going to start doing some live shows
Okay, great.
coming up for the Temple gig that I heard you're a part of as
Yes,
well.
yeah, we're trying. Space Couch is going to be. This will be great. I'll do a quick plug. Um, we've Space Couch will do a new festival exclusive. That's like a band now. Nancy Perkins will be spending half an hour on the Space Couch,
Nancy!
and it will be the online debut of DJ Fishdick, um, as seen in the Hardcore Pong
Yeah, I was
promo
about to
video.
say it's his fault that we're late, but go on.
Yeah, I don't know the next line. The That'll be good. Check that out. I'm very excited. No, I've been interested in Spank the Nun since the we'll plug this Black Pill Red Pill versus Tiger Squawk
Yeah, we
album
need
that
to
we
do that
put in.
again.
That was great. I would absolutely love
Yeah.
it. It does well. It's a popular album. Um, I want to get on this before we get off because I'm interested. Now that you're a veteran of live shows, what would you say to like a Spank the Nun or Industrial or somebody like that in the audience or a Beta Virus? These are just bands that I'm seeing that are talking with us today, who have yet to do a live show. Like, what's like a thing you might not think of?
Okay. Firstly, be careful of your choice of makeup because it's going to run and
Oh
it's going
my
to sweat and it's going to
gosh!
get in your eyes. And I want to tell you a funny story about
Oh,
that
please
after
do.
this. Secondly, use OBS because it's free and it's easy. Third, when you export, don't export at high def. You know, you can export it. Hold on, here's Shaya. Hold on.
Space Cat? Space Cat. What's going on?
She heard you.
Aww.
Anyway, export at something smaller. Export at a smaller MP4 output or compression output because and your audio is going to be like mono 192.
Right.
Make it small
What's
because
that?
if it's big, it's going to be spluttering and stuttering and it's going to suck. People can handle low res.
Hmm.
They can't handle stutters.
It's everyone's seen that whatever band at the festival, and you don't want to be that band that like gets
Yeah,
2 minutes into
yeah,
a set and now you got to
yeah.
reboot the server or whatever
Oh
they
yeah.
do.
Oh yeah, because your computer is fucking out because it's trying to deal with high def.
Hmm.
Like I know people who try and they'll try and stream at 60 frames a second at 4K. At full CD quality, and they wonder while their computer's going, "Oh my god!" and their
Hmm.
Wi-Fi is going, "No, we can't do this." It's like
Stop.
keep it small.
Stop.
But going back to the and do it live. Do
Yes.
it live. Do not record it. I mean, like if you have to record it for time zone reasons, sure. But for God's sake, this is rock and roll. And that's the fun of it is that it's a gig, man. It's you and the camera, but there's a lot of people behind that camera. So just quickly on the Max Headroom thing,
Oh,
um,
you're so good. I forgot.
I,
Fuck.
I did a show where I paid homage to Max Headroom, and it was against the green screen and it had the lines, and I got a whole bunch of my friends to do these cool hack in things where they were going to hack in, paying homage to the Max Headroom hack in Chicago on November 22nd. Was it 87?
Something like
But
that.
something like that. But anyway, so what happened is I put a whole bunch of it's called BB cream. It's like foundation cream for photo shoots, and it's actually also it's got sunblock in it. And then I put on my makeup and I slathered on the BB cream so I look like Max Headroom. And I'm rocking out, I'm going crazy, and of course the makeup starts melting, which it does.
Oh no.
And then it starts going into my eyes, and my eyes are on fire.
Oh God, is
And
that?
I'm trying to figure what the fuck is going on. And now what's funny is that because I can now live stream stuff, And when the other interesting thing about when you live stream is it's not just it's going to be 8 o'clock in LA. It's going to be 11 o'clock in New York,
In,
Boston, and so I have to when
or
I advertise a
2 in
gig
the
now I have to
morning in
put
Hungary with
yeah
for
yeah
damage. Yeah.
I have to put like 7 timestamps there,
Right.
so no matter where you are in the world. So of course I tell my parents, and they finally get to see Angelspit live.
Is that how? Oh
Um,
no, that was a.
but it's really funny, and they're watching me, and my eyes are on fire, and I'm keeping going, and I can't keep my eyes open anymore, and I'm wiping my face with cloth and everything else, and I won't stop going. And I'm reading the comments, and people are going, "What the fuck is wrong? Your eyes are red, man. They're on fire."
I saw that
And we
show. They
got
were
through it.
like, "You're not exaggerating." They were just.
Yeah.
I was like,
And
"You are
there's a
going for it."
there's a video of it, and I afterwards I got a text from my parents, and they said, "Good show. What was wrong with your eyes?" And I said, the for some reason the foundation I was using ran into my eyes, and it um my eyes had this crazy allergic reaction." And Mum said, "Did it have sunblock in it?" And I went, "Yeah, actually it was." And she goes, "You're allergic to sunblock?" And I went, "Since when?" And she said, "Since you're a little boy, that's why you never go to the beach and you hate sunblock." And I went, "Oh, I didn't
Oh
know it. I
man,
forgot."
it
So be
is.
careful of your choice of makeup, because
Be
you're going
careful
to
of your choice of
sweat.
makeup. Yeah, it's worth looking up because, like, initially I thought you were just really committing to like this sort of sick, future sickness sort of look. No, you're just eyes were on fire. I want to give a quick shout out to Ralph. What is up, buddy?
Is that
Um,
Ralph from Albany?
oh, it's Albany Ralph is in.
Ralph!
Yeah.
Ralph!
The okay, so do all that. Yeah, I'm loving the live show, man. Like I do
Well,
miss.
same to you, man. I love what you do. It's great
Oh, well,
fun. It's an
thank you.
extension of the couch. So I love
Yeah,
it.
well, you do what you know, and I gotta say, like, having zero loadout time is interesting. Like, as soon as the show ends, I'm home.
I know. It's really funny that I said to my wife when like I said I've always strangely wanted to be able to do the washing up just before I do a show. Like there's something wonderfully it's great fun, and you finish it and she's watching it in bed, and it's like, this is great. We don't have to load out of a venue at 4 o'clock in the morning in the rain or the snow, and we don't have to keep band members apart because they're fighting and because they're so drunk.
Right,
It's,
yeah, you don't have to go
it's great.
scouting for anybody on the third floor of a casino in Las
Right. Right.
Vegas
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
all that. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
let's like Uh, well, there is the post-gig party that Industrial is bringing up, but
What's
I don't
that?
know. I was never good at it, to be perfectly honest. I always kind of wanted to go home.
Okay, I'll tell you. So one thing I'm doing with the Angelspit, the Patreon crew,
Hmm.
is we experimented a gig where I did a show, and then we had people on the Zoom.
Mm.
So I would be doing the show and sending it to Zoom via my mobile phone. Meanwhile, the computer and everything else was handling uploading the stream, because don't put both things on the one device because you fuck shit up.
Mm.
And what I really want to do is start doing a thing where there's the Zoom hangout room
Mm.
where the band, you can watch the band like performing live there, and then afterwards the band can
Oh
jump
wow,
back on Zoom.
interesting.
And I've obviously spoken to Ryan about it, and Ryan gave me all these really cool options you can do. But I just think that would be the funnest fucking thing to do at a festival. Is like, okay, we've got the Zoom room, Zoom
Zoom.
room,
Hey, there you go. It's the new,
and
it's the new
you can
green
just
room.
hang out in there, talk to bands and whatever. And you can also break off into different rooms within the Zoom room. And this could be, I don't know, whatever. But I digress.
No, it's all good. Yeah, that's cool. I would probably still like be too awkward for that myself, like Mark says in the chat room. But it's a pretty awesome idea, man. Um, I want to touch on this because it's a little bit of an elephant in the room in this 2020, and you're in Los Angeles. Like, how you doing with goodness gracious, any rioting or demonstrations and lockdowns and all
So
else?
the Hollywood Boulevard is at the bottom of our street,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like half a mile, quarter of a mile from us.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually used to live a lot closer to Hollywood
Right.
Boulevard. You were there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, and it's funny because when the riots were happening, we had the helicopters going on, and we could see what was going on. Um, it's interesting that I think this is such an important, extremely important cause.
Mm-hmm.
And look, while I'm here, I'm just going to stop for 30 seconds, and I'm going to post into both into Twitch. Oh, wrong one. Hold on, I'm
Oh, you
sorry.
said Twitch, yeah, you're fine.
No. Hold on, give me a sec.
Oh,
Uh,
going. Okay,
all
sorry.
right, there you go. Okay, so that's for the There's a link in there, and that's to the NACP Legal Defense Fund.
Mm-hmm.
And those guys are helping a lot of people who are being arrested for participating in the Black Lives Matter protests, and they're helping these people have legal representation.
Okay.
Um, Black Lives Matter is an incredibly important thing, and although police brutality is a terrible thing, and I personally think that a bigger problem that it's facing, it's showing us, is access to healthcare.
Mm.
That it's people of color that are having more. They don't have their access to healthcare during this COVID crisis is not as good as other communities in the United States. And this is something that's got to be addressed. This equality must be addressed. And it's this demon has tentacles that reach into everything. And justice, family care, social care, health care. And that this is something that we've really got to work for. We have to vote to put people at in a federal level, in a state level, and in a local level, who are going to bring about change and who are going to face this in a non-racist manner.
Mm-hmm.
And this has 400 years is enough, man. What Martin Luther King was talking about, Jr. was talking about, is still absolutely relevant today at this very moment. While protests are breaking out in Rochester yesterday, and I think Kentucky, this isn't going away.
Right.
Because it's been here for so long. Now it's at the point where it's like, okay, you have no choice. We have to talk about this. We have to stop this. We have to bring about equality. So that was my side thing. And you know what? If you don't want to back Angelspit's Kickstarter because you'd rather send money to NAACP, do that. Because the album is going to be free on Spotify in October, and the videos are going to be free. The censored videos are going to be free on YouTube. I don't know, October-ish, November-ish, and onward. So this is a situation that needs your help now. And I, to my wonderful friends in America, vote.
Oh yeah.
Vote.
So you got to vote. We're going to give you a little bit of homework. If you want that, the exclusive, maybe even a little dirty versions of the Angelspit videos, you got to get that VHS tape. If it cracks 9K, we would get the rare situation of a bald Carl just shaving it off.
I have the shaver right there. It's ready to go.
He's got it primed like Excalibur. You got a little bit. There it is. Oh God!
Thanks, Brian. You're so supportive. That was awful, but you're really supportive.
No, I can't fake that kind of laughter. This is an off-the-cuff question, just because walking down Hollywood Boulevard, like we did a couple years ago, is there's the classic Zoo sunglasses. Have you gotten any response from years ago? You did like a man on the street interview with an out of drag Trixie and Katya, who are now blown up like 5 years later on YouTube. And do people find that and go, "Is that the Angel Spit
Yes.
guy?" That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It was really funny because when that happened, because if you walk down Hollywood Boulevard, you're going to get stopped and you're going to get interviewed, usually by fucking Jimmy Kimmel. And Jimmy Kimmel's crew like to take the piss out of you in a bit of a cruel way.
Right.
And I've just got to the point where what I say to them is not very polite.
Okay.
Because it's like, guys, fuck off. Really?
Right.
Don't waste my... I'm trying to go to Trader Joe's.
Right.
Fuck off.
Right.
But this one time I bumped into these two guys, and they were the sweetest guys. And I said, look, they said, look, can we ask you some questions? I said, yeah, sure. I just got to ask you, are you with Jimmy Kimmel? And they went, oh. And I went, okay, sure, let's do it. And then they were so polite.
Okay.
They were really funny, down to earth, wonderful human beings. And it's funny that I'm very proud that I have as much as I can do, as much as I can get my influence and to help the LGBTQ community. I'm always there. Like I'm now working on May May's. I hope I can announce this. I'm working on May May's second album.
Oh, hey, all right, nice.
Oh man, it's so good. It's really good.
Nice.
And there's a queer guy in Turkey called Els in the Cult. And if you get a chance, Google Els in the Cult. This fucking guy's amazing.
ELS or what?
Yeah, ELZ.
ELZ. Okay.
And the Cult. And it's not totally acceptable, politically acceptable in a Muslim country to be queer.
Right.
And that's putting it nicely.
Right.
And plus there's another queen on the Mez, I hope you don't mind me referring to you as a queen, but darling, you're in drag, so come on. That we're trying to push Mez to do her amazing shit. And it's funny that I think that now I'm ranting. I think that drag is an extremely important part of. Drag is the most, like, as musicians, we are the jester in the king's court. That's our job.
Right.
And our job is to reflect using music, humor, sarcasm, cynicism, or seriousness, what's going on. And you know what? Sometimes what's going on is bullshit. No one does it like a fucking drag queen. No one does it like, and that's why we must have our drag queens and encourage them to use their own voice and not just lip sync, what they are feeling and what they think is going on, because the humor of these brilliant minds is just, it's a refreshing, wonderful thing.
It's great. Now we check this out. We went to go see, we saw them both actually separately doing shows. Katya, who loves industrial music of all things, and
Wow.
yeah, it in my private fantasies, this didn't happen, but she's a giant KMFDM fan, and you should have said like, yeah, I know them. We went on tour, but her show was great, and then we saw Trixie's show, and here in Boston, and I ran into Bill, the violin player for Tryheart, who will be on Space Couch next week. So it all comes around. Check out Tryheart 1 week from today. Pretty awesome stuff. That's then. This is now. We're talking about the Ignorance Cartel, Angelspit. Buddy, we are on a rogue flight path out here in space, and I'm going to bring this flying divan back into the station. I forgot to say the catchphrase, which I'll do now. Call the spaceships to Davenport, prepare for divanarchy, and interface with a couch in space. What is up to Keno McFarlane in the chat room? Hey, what's going on?
Keno's working on one of our videos. Keno, you fucking rock.
Oh, nice.
Cows, Keno. Cows.
You can find out whatever that means at the Kickstarter.
Do we have time? I can tell you if we have time.
Hell yeah! Let's.
Okay.
I kind of knew this episode was gonna go long, so
All right.
let's just go.
So Keno does short films and horror and creepy shit, and Keno's up in Seattle. Keno does the best shit, and I had the honor of working with her on a short film called Witch Hunt.
Awesome.
And the song that I created for her short film became a song called Hexenjager, which was on Bang Operative, the last album. And actually, this whole thing was one of the things that said, you know what, I'm going to make this a trilogy. So, of course, when I'm doing these videos, I reached out to Kino and I said, look, I want to do a video and you can do whatever you want. And here's the track. It's an instrumental track called Spade. And I want it to be creepy and a little fucked up. And Kino goes, oh, yeah. In the field next to me, there's cows. And I video the cows and they're kind of creepy. And I went, creepy cows? I've never heard of creepy cows.
Right.
So I went and I Googled, I did all this research on cows, and I could find one instant, like everybody else throughout the whole history of humankind have said, oh, cows are awesome and they're placid and docile and they're awesome and they're calming and they're loving and they're sacred and don't fuck with them. But there's this one thing where the Egyptians said, oh, well, cows are actually evil. And there was this one instance of evil cows. And I went, this is fantastic. I love it. And then I went back to Kino and I went, yeah, cows, evil cows. I love it. And Kino goes, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? And I looked at her messages again and it was crows. I went, oh, yeah, that's great, man.
That's
you did
amazing.
That's great.
That's
But I learned about evil cows. So
that's incredible.
joke.
Well, but it's perfect that it's the Egyptian ones because it's a pyramid that appears in the art for Ignorance Cartel. Oh my God, it's a conspiracy. They're everywhere.
Right.
That reminds me, like, real quick, you know, like I kind of play the accordion, and
yeah, you do.
I did. I played. Was doing an open mic once, and a guy said to me, "Hey, that's cool." And he told me this joke, and he goes, "What's the difference between a hobo and an accordion?" And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "An accordion is easier to set on fire." And I thought that was hilarious. And then, like, I saw him the next day, and I'm like, "Hey, I saw the same guy," and I said, like, "Hey, I love that joke you told about the hobo." And he just looked kind of stricken at me and goes, "I said oboe."
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
That's
I like that. So the I don't know if I should tell this one. No, I won't tell this one. It's just a bit weird.
We'll leave a little mystery, you know.
Yeah, we'll leave a bit of mystery.
Space is all about the unknown.
It is. It is.
What is known, however, Ignorance Cartel, some say it's the best. Right now on Kickstarter, I fucked up a little bit. I'm on this album, as well as we have another guest vocalist. Check that out. Thank you very much for choosing Gasoline. I very much like that side project, and it was. I've done a lot of guest vocals with the Gossicles. It was a giant honor to be able to do it under the Gasoline personality. So
yeah, I love your Gasoline voice, and also the thing I really dig about Gasoline Invertebrate is the way you're taking risks. Like you got that pedal.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like, you know, I'm always a bit scared of using distortion pedals because I haven't had a lot of good luck with them.
Right.
But I used your distortion pedal take and it was great.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's really good. Yeah, you brought something excellent to, it's the second track called Amosexual. And yeah, man, I love what you do. So I'm all over Gasoline.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so check out the Gasoline track as well as 13 others. 14-track album.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm working on an album now. It's only 10. It's just, you know, you get a great return on your investment when you contribute in the next day to that Kickstarter. All right, so we gotta.
And I'll shave my head.
And he's got all those that mane, that angel mane is going to hit the floor. It's we're going
I'll shave it live tomorrow at noon
for your masochistic pleasure. No, thank you is trolling. Oh, we got to say what's up to giant supporter Aaron. What's going on? hardcore Pong in the place to be, which is in space, and
Yeah.
also LA and Boston. So we're running a bit low on space fuel. I got to redock. So this is Brian for Space Couch, for Carl for Angelspit, for the Ignorance Cartel, saying call the spaceship to Davenport, prepare for of anarchy, and interface with the couch in space. Space. Hey, I just got an award from Restream. You have just received my 100th Restream chat message today. So I'm glad. I'm glad it was you. All right. Okay. We are going to go. Do you have any final thoughts before I hit the outro button?
Make your art in
Make
this time. What you think about what's going on is critically important. The world needs to hear what you're doing. Take all this craziness that's going on and turn it into something beautiful. And it's good fun. And keep an eye out on Saturdays at midday. We have the LA time. We're having the Angelspit Patreon meetup. And hit me an email if you want me to I'll send you a link. But they're really good fun. And Brian, thank you. And just everything you do, man. It's fantastic.
Oh, well, thank you. He will send you a link. But come on, man. Don't be a cheapskate. Join that Angelspit Patreon. And
It's just $1 a month.
it costs you $1 a month, and you
$1 a
get to
month.
talk to Carl. I mean, you make money. All right. This is Space Couch.
Space
Out.
Couch.
Yeah. Wow. But that's okay. All right. I gotta find